Messicks, a helping hand with your land.
Neil from Messicks. This is a little bit different video here for us. We're going to go through some of the new Kubota products that were introduced at the 2016 dealer meeting in Grapevine, Texas. Normally we're used to walking around tractors outside, but these machines aren't going to ship for anywhere between about 2 to 6 months here at this point. So we're going to go through a quick slideshow of things that we, from pictures and stuff that we took at the meeting to give you an idea what some of the new products are going to be. The most significant item coming out for us here this year is a new BX series. The BXs are incredible tractors for us. Our dealership will sell just about 250 of them here this year alone. So this product is very, very important to us. They've got 4 new models coming out, basically replacing the 4 that are in the product line currently. They'll be the BX 1880, 2380, 2680, and replacing the BX25 is the model BX23S. I guess the thought behind that is we're going back to reflecting the engine horsepower, but the S denotes that it is a newer model. There had been a BX23 in the product line before. There are several changes to those machines. The first thing that you're going to notice is the redesigned hood. Rather than being a flip-up hood, this is now a single-piece hood that flips to the front. The nice thing about that is it'll make servicing the tractor a little bit easier. You won't have side panels to pull off, clips to break, and that kind of stuff. So it's now a single piece hood that flips forward. On the front, there's a new redesigned Grille Guard now that'll flip forward as well to allow the hood to come forward. And several other changes as well. The tractors are all going to get a new, more comfortable seat. That'll be on the 2380 and 2680. Because of the pivot and swivel motion on the Backhoe version, the new 23S will continue to use the existing seat, while the 1880 uses a little bit less expensive seat that's been on the tractor before, so that one does not get an upgrade. There are many, many changes to the loader on this machine. You're going to notice here that there's a coupler in the front. Before, these tractors had a quick coupler for the loader bucket, but it was a pin type coupler that was unique to the bucket and the pallet forks that they offered, some of the blades that were out there too. But this new coupler is a full-on skid steer coupler. The great thing about skid steer couplers is that it opens you up to the huge range of attachments that are out there for skid loaders. And so I'm sure you're going to start to see a lot more miniature skid loader attachments to suit these tractors. We were showing a couple new pieces from Lampride as well, some new blades, a really cool little box scraper, which I'm really excited about, and I'm sure we're going to start to see a lot of new options to go into the front of that loader. In order to support those implements, Kubota is now offering a factory third function kit as well. That'll be a diverter where the actual valve sits out on the loader and then adds a button back at the joystick in order to operate that third function. Speaking of the joystick, it now comes back to the fender. Rather being out in front of you, it's now a fender mounted lever. I remember from sitting in the seat that the lever is right by my hand in a comfortable operating position. If I had any criticism of it, it's a pretty short throw. It may not give you as easy corner positioning and stuff as what the older, longer lever did, but it's in a very comfortable operating position, so that should be slick. There is also a series of new features to allow you to release the loader without getting off the seat. So in order to accomplish that, there's 2 latches that will release the loader from the sockets that they mount into. Once you've taken those off, there's a manifold to release all 4 of your hydraulic hoses, which was really cool. They're all flat-faced couplers, so they should release well under pressure. And then once that manifold comes off, and the thing is released and your parking stand has been dropped down, you can remove the loader right off the tractor without getting off the seat. It was demoed several times. It looked like a really slick and easy process, so we're excited to see how that works. There's some small changes on the backhoe side as well. A new system in order to release the backhoe from the tractor. You notice on the old BX23 there was a cam grabbing system that existed to release the backhoe from the tractor. That kind of comes back here in the new version. When you push the backhoe up into the tractor, some spring-loaded pins will lock into place to lock the backhoe on so that you don't have to put your hands back into as many pitch points in order to release and attach the backhoe. So that seems like a nice improvement. I did miss one feature on the loader there as well. There's a level indicator that's an option now in order to see the level point on the bucket. They'll still have the level indicator on the bucket itself, so that is an option. But for guys that are doing a lot of loader work, you might appreciate that. There's a Z400 series now to kind of fill the gap between the Commander Z100 series and the really commercial heavy-duty ZD series, or Z700 series. The Z400 will use a Hydro Gear 3400 transmission. It's a transmission that you typically find on a lot of mid to high-end zero-turn mowers, and the transmission will run that machine up to 10 miles an hour. It's a really, really high speed for a machine in this class, so it should be a very nice, fast running mower. One thing that we were interested to see on that machine is if you do opt for a bagger, there's no fan on the bagger. That should, a little curious of exactly how they're going to shove that much grass through that bagger with no fan at that type of speed. I'd expect in the bagger you're probably going to have to slow down a little bit in a lot of our heavy, thick northeast conditions. New machine 2 coming back into the ZD series in the diesel class is a 31 horse model. With the transition to Tier 4, when Tier 4 engines started to require DPF filters, they eliminated the ZD 331 because it went over top of the 26 horsepower limit for needing a DPF filter on it. So that's now back in the product line now. That machine gets a DPF filter. It is also turbocharged, which I thought was pretty cool. It has a real air ride seat on it as well. This machine is going to carry a pretty significant price point with that air ride and DPF on it. It's easily going to be over $21,000, so it's not going to be inexpensive. But if you're in a situation in an application that demands that amount of horsepower, given today's emissions requirements, that's what you need to purchase. Along that emissions class, specialty tractors are also coming back into the product line now as well. As Kubota moved through Tier 4 transitions, the narrow and low profile tractors were eliminated from the product line for a short time because all the engineering was happening on the other models. So now that we're well into the Tier 4 transition, we now have an M5 111 low profile tractor available again. Being at 111 horsepower, this thing does have a def tank on it. These tractors are really popular in poultry and orchard applications where you need a really low profile tractor. For us, we have turkey barns and chicken barns going up everywhere around here. So that nice low profile machine gives you a lot of horsepower in a size that you can easily fit into a barn or in an orchard application where you can be underneath branches. In those orchards, you also saw a lot of narrow tractors as well. So there's an M4071 coming back in again that replaces the old 7040, and an M5 91 111 narrow tractor, 91 or 111 horsepower tractors that fill in the higher horsepower class. We're glad to see Kubota come with those options now. That was something that we had always fought with before, of not having quite enough horsepower in our narrow tractor. Another update here as well happens to the KX91. That moves on to a new model, a KX033. Not a whole lot of changes to that machine, but updated with new engines, new cab improvements, an air conditioning model now. Our old KX91 had an air conditioner condenser hanging off the side of the cab that looked pretty hokey. The new ones now, in the KX033, the condenser is fit back underneath the machine, so you have full visibility out and around the cab. It also has all the updated control panels and stuff that's come into the rest of the KX series. So that's it. Like I said, we'll be seeing those things over the next 2 to 6 months or so, so keep your eyes out on Messicks.com or the Kubota website as well for new models. Catch you later.